Hello guys, thought I'd make another video here for you today. What's that? Address the elephant in the room. Alright, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. This ain't some April Fool's Day joke that I'm putting on an act or something, but this is not my real eye color. I actually use contacts and they change the color. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, this is my real eye color, but my voice and my condition, it's not COVID, it's not anything like that. It's a reoccurring condition that I get. It happens every year. It just happened twice this year. Actually, what was the name of that Chris Boers video I made? I'm better than you or something. Anyways, it was the video I made about Chris Boers years ago. I had the same Steve-O, yeah, dude voice in that video. So it's just something that has to do with a bad sinus infection I had some years ago, and I get nosebleeds every now and then, and my body treats it like a virus, and it just the result of it is this. Anyway, it's not COVID. Just people stop worrying. It's a thermometer. I know this won't shut absolutely everyone up. Let's say 98.2. Anyways, I hope that focused correctly. Probably didn't. Anyway, are people taking this seriously yet? Let's get back on topic here because we never went on the topic, so how do you get back on it? Are people taking this seriously enough yet is what I want to get to here. Hi, buddy. I just feel like there is still an air of the invulnerable arrogance in America. And just like the people that are just like, oh man, I'm glad I don't live in New York City because I live in, East Jabip, North Dakota, where there's only a few active cases in the county I live in, so I'm good. The thing is, people, that there's only a few active cases at one point in a place like New York City. And this virus doesn't mess around in that there's no real cure for it. Hospitals are being inundated. And if you're not one of the ones that get it in a bad way first, you're kind of screwed. And that's the harsh reality of things. And people need to realize that doing something for a stupid social gathering right now needs to be put on hold. These people that are still gathering in large venues, large farmers market in California. I saw pictures of people were elbow to elbow last Sunday, while people are dying in the thousands in America. Just like, there's no big outbreak here, so what's the deal? I don't care. People can be asymptomatic with this in that they don't show signs of suffering. They carry the disease, and then you start getting sick, and then you could spread it to many people before you yourself get sick. And to those spring breakers that went to Florida 2 weeks ago, ones that were interviewed on the news saying, oh, it's spring break, it's my 21st birthday, it's the one time a year, etc., etc., etc. I like to call those people accomplices to murder, because right now, and that might be over the top to call someone a murderer because you're not actively killing one knowingly, but I would argue in this case you are knowingly doing it. Because 2 weeks ago, my wife asked me, when this was all bubbling up in like a lot of the main states, like Washington State, New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, like the places that really started getting hit the hardest first, my wife asked me, since this is something that kills off the elder population a lot quicker and in a lot more numbers, my wife asked me, what is the situation like in Florida 2 weeks ago? And I checked it out. Florida was ranked number 17 in total cases in America. Now, people be like, well, they weren't doing a lot of testing, in Florida back then. But the thing is a lot of other states weren't doing a lot of testing either. So it is actually a fair bar to rank everything on. And now, as of yesterday, Florida went from 17 2 weeks ago to now yesterday, they're ranked number 5. Oh, but Archie, they're doing a lot more testing in Florida. They're doing a lot more testing in every single state now. So don't use that argument. and Thomas the Tank Engine just entered the room. So there is no thing of saying like, well, they're testing more there now. Of course, there's more active cases that show up, more people test positive, etc. Again, the testing is increasing every single place now. So don't give me that. And those spring breakers that had to have those large social gatherings. Miami-Dade County is one of the hardest hit. I just read an article where 60% of the COVID cases in Florida right now are in the 4 southern counties where all the spring breakers go. The 4 counties wrapping around from Tampa to Miami to the other side, just south of Orlando, whatever county Orlando is. I forget the name. Anyway, so I hope you all enjoyed your spring break, and I hope you all enjoyed the fact that you helped spread that. And Florida is now the only state in the past 2 weeks that has leapfrogged more than 10 states in the rankings of total number of COVID cases. Way to go, spring breakers. Jerk offs. I want to say it out loud. I didn't want the kid to hear it. Anyway, and that's the arrogance that there is. Just you can't write this off to young and dumb or rich and elite, and it's not going to be a problem for me or anything like that. Because as young and dumb as those kids are at spring break are just as dumb as those rich and elite are in that farmer's market that were shown last Sunday. Like, they're equally dumb. So don't say that just the kids are dumb in this situation, because the adults are just as dumb. Okay, this is the people that actually suffer the most are the elderly, because they're getting killed off. Like, I forget, this might be just Italy's number. I'm trying to think it was Italy's or America's number. It was like 90+% of people that get it over the age of 90 that diagnosed with it so far ended up dying. Anyway, don't quote me on that, because I forget if that was actually a specific country. But anyway, it's just common knowledge anyway that it hurts the elderly a lot more as far as the mortality rate of things here. And no one's arguing that, whether it's 90% or not. People really got to get into a mode of saying it's quite possible that I should not leave the house for a couple months on end, and get ready for that. We're stockpiling food in our freezers. We have 2 freezers out in our garage and another in the kitchen that my wife started prepping food just in case we have to have meals for weeks on end or potentially months on end and not leave the house. Like, we're taking that step. How many people do you think really are, or really even consider that a possibility of having to do, or just are like, well, I'll take my chances. Again, I'm young. Like, if there's people that are just like that, or I'll use Uber Eats every day, assuming that will keep existing in the months ahead. And hey, I get it, people. It sucks right now. Entertainment in the country sucks right now. I mean, unless you're watching something on Netflix, or YouTube, you ain't going out to the movies. You ain't going out to a play. You ain't going out to a sporting event. You're not going back to school this year. You're probably not going back to school next year. And I hate to break it to you, I don't think the NFL season is going to happen. So any football fans out there, if you're excited to see Tom Brady play for the Buccaneers, you're probably not going to see that happen this year. Like, let's be real. Because this has to get down to a point where I don't want to hear where it's just like, oh, wow, we went from 300,000 cases down to just 2,000 cases that are active in America right now. Everyone pack the arenas across the nation. Well, no, because then those 2,000 cases could potentially turn into 300,000 cases all over again. Like, this has to be pretty much damn near wiped out. And that's what people need to realize. It has to be, excuse me, son, darn near wiped out. Or there has to be a vaccine discovered for it. There has to be some way that it's treatable and you don't have, a 80+% death rate to every senior citizen that gets it. Like, that's what has to happen for us to go back to our daily lives, and people need to realize that. Or you can just keep going to your farmer's market and your spring breaks and being accomplices to murder. 3rd-degree murder. That's what that is. And again, you could say it's over the top, and I'm being ridiculous with it. Fine, whatever. Do what you got to do. I'll do what I have to do and stay inside and not risk my life outside or risk the lives of others. I don't know. I see how bad things are getting in New York City right now. Like, that is a town that could potentially have over, just in that city, over 100,000 people could potentially die. And you could be like, oh, calm down. It's not going to get that bad. Really? You really don't think it's going to get that bad? It's gotten this bad in just a week, where things have gotten, each day has gotten multiples worse. You're going to tell me, oh, it's just going to magically arc down in a month or something? Again, that's the thing. You need to err on the side of caution. And to everyone that was upset at first, to everyone saying, oh, it's no big deal, it's just as bad as it's no worse than the flu. The flu kills 30,000 people in America every year. It's not that bad. The flu doesn't cause hospitals to be inundated with so many people that they don't have beds, nurses, doctors, room capacity, anything like that to service the amount of medical patients they have. Like, that doesn't happen with the flu. Like, yes, hospitals get a lot busier when flu gets ramped up and deep in the flu season, but you're not building hospitals in Central Park to treat just regular flu victims, people that can be treated with a vaccine or just taken care of right away and it's fine. And where's all the people say, like, oh my God, this is a big hysteria that's overblown? Like, I don't know if you guys listen to the Chris Jericho podcast, but man, he had these conspiracy theorists on out there saying, like, this can't be real, because if it was, there'd be hundreds of thousands of people dying, the stock markets would be crashing. Someone please interview these guys again today. Oh, I would love to hear the people that were on the Chris Jericho podcast a couple weeks ago be interviewed today, because everything that they said, why this is fake, because these peripheral things aren't happening, are actually happening. I would love to hear what they have to say now. The whole, this is all fake. It's just that China is just using this excuse to, like, kill off undesirables, because, you can't get into the Wuhan district, so you don't know what they're doing in there. It's just a fake virus because, it's not popping up anywhere else. Well, now it is popping up everywhere else. Poor Italy, poor Spain, poor France, poor Europe. People were complimenting Germany for really having a handle on things. Germany is getting just as bad as everyone else in Europe right now. Not as bad, but they're getting there. All of a sudden, they don't look like they have a full handle on things. So that's the thing. There is no invulnerable arrogance to have. Not 1 inch of it right now. It's a scary time. It's a scary time. I wish I could tell you I see this as a very optimistic outlook, that things aren't going to get that bad. But I got to be a realist with you guys here. Like, it is possible that you see over 1 million less people in the world just from the deaths this summer. Can we just stay inside, guys? Will that kill you? I mean, unless you're a valued position in society, like your job is deemed important. And I feel so bad for just your common grocery store clerk that is working behind a register for like minimum wage or a little better. Like, man, something should be done for every single person that worked like these grunt level jobs, like a grocery store clerk, and did it just to put their lives at risk just so that we could eat. Like, I'm sorry, after this is done, give every grocery clerk you see at least a $20 tip or something. Like, something's got to be done for them. I mean, $20, that isn't even enough of what they deserve if everyone even gave them a $20 tip. But man, just at least say thank you to them. Just when this is all said and done, just give them a big fat thank you. Because it's one thing about doctors and nurses and therapists, etc., and any hospital that are working their jobs right now. But man, the poor guy that's pumping gas in New Jersey for you, like, every gas station is self-service. I mean, or they're not self-service in New Jersey, so you have to have someone come pump your gas. Like, just that guy. Your garbage people, just anyone like that, your mail delivery person, just I feel for them. So they're doing things to help make our lives better, and they're putting their lives at risk for that. So that's a realness of this whole thing that I don't want to be forgotten, because they're going to be dwarfed by the number of people that die. But don't forget about all those people that put their butts on the line for you just so that you could eat, so you could get your mail, so you could get your food through Amazon, just anything like that. Don't forget about them when this is all said and done. Anyways, I've talked on long enough. My kid has dismantled the couch in the other room, and he's running around with a blanket on his head like he's Superboy. Take care, guys, and I promise I don't have corona. This isn't an April Fool's Day joke or anything like that. Take care of yourselves. Like, I'm serious. Take care of yourselves. We'll get back to our overly entertained, just, I don't know, kind of puts things in perspective. Like, I don't want to meander on about another point, because that's just going to go oversaturation of stimulus in the entertainment community. But anyway, stay safe, stay at home, and thank you if you work at a grocery store or a job where, anyways, that is all.